La 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 barbecue.
What's going on, internet? Welcome back to the Hold That Thought podcast, where I do the exact opposite. I'm your host, LaBarbecue, and this is episode number 12, potentially the last episode of the year. So if you're going to like this content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share if you're on YouTube, and if you're listening to the audio-only version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to it, make sure you rate it 5 stars if you can, and that would really help me out and move me up the algorithm on those platforms. So I got a good show planned out and typed up in my notes, so let's just jump into it. First off, we're gonna start off with some quick bits, and the first thing I want to say is just thank you, especially if this is the last episode of the year. I appreciate all the support that we've gotten for this podcast, like on every platform, and the growth is very amazing. It really makes me happy that you guys are sitting here listening to me ramble about these random topics or whatever I'm talking about. I really appreciate you guys for all the support all throughout the year. Also, I feel like I can't just like leave this up in the air. If you only listen to the podcast, like, I am good. I know the last episode was a little bit maybe scary for some people. I'm good. That wasn't a cry for help or anything. Like, I'm fine. I'm very happy in my life where I am. But I feel like I needed to make that episode for people who aren't, So I do appreciate the people that reached out. Like, I am good. Like, and at the end of that episode, I said that my line is always open if you guys need help. But I do appreciate whoever extended the olive branch and tried to reach out to me, especially Jazz Coffee JTD. Go check him out on YouTube. He's another content creator. Yeah, I'll put his link in the description below as well. So yeah, that's it for my quick bits. Just shout out to you guys, and keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate all the support. So that's it for quick bits. Let's hop into the gaming news. So first off, let's talk about the mess that is cyber. Dude, I've been gone for a long time, like when it comes to actually making news covering on all this stuff that's been going on. I've been like watching stuff from like a distance, but because I've been doing my own things. I've been making a lot of other YouTube videos in between. Like, I've still been busy. I just haven't been making Hold That Thought podcast. So Cyberpunk 2077, since the last podcast it released, and people have been waiting for this game. This thing got announced in like 2013, I think. This game has been in production for several years, and CD Projekt Red, which is the developer for this game, I guess they felt the pressure enough finally, because they kept pushing this game back. They kept pushing it back, and it's finally been released. And let me tell you, this has been the messiest release of a video game I have seen in several years. So the big problem that they're having is this game is not optimized very, very well at all. There's bugs, glitches, all the kinds of things in this game, and people are not having it. So the biggest bugs are coming in apparently last gen consoles, your PS4 and Xbox Ones. So the biggest issues with those is it looks like it was made for a GameCube. So a lot of people are very unhappy with their purchase, and they are just straight up giving out refunds for the game. Like, yeah, I feel like you don't even have to have a reason. If you want your money back and you bought Cyberpunk, you can get your money back. So it's really sad for all those people who took their time and tried to make a good game. But this also goes back to everyone who rushed them to put out the game. Like, everybody is so mad about when they kept pushing the dates back. Everybody's so mad about that. There's like, just released a game, and they did, and it's an unfinished game. That's what it is. It's not complete, and you get what you asked for. Like, they were not ready to put this game, though granted, like, it's their game, they can put it out whenever they want. But I think some people were getting like threats about it too. So like, you can't rush a good game. Like, that game is very ambitious. I've seen a few people play it. I personally don't have it myself, because personally, like, I never saw the hype about this game. I always knew that I probably wasn't gonna buy it day one. I was thinking about getting it like when it's on sale, or if I can get a cheap version of it, then I'd probably play it. But for spending $60 on a game that I saw like no major appeal in, and it just wasn't for me. And I knew that as soon as I saw the first gameplay. I was like, it's not for me. I love Keanu Reeves, but that game wasn't for me. So if you have Cyberpunk and you don't like it and you hate it, then you can trade it in, or you can get your money back. So that's Cyberpunk 2077. Hopefully they get this figured out. I hope Keanu Reeves is still in a good positive mindset, because we gotta protect Keanu Reeves at all costs. All right, so up next, your boy finally got a PS5. Yes, sir. We finally got a PS5 out here. So I got the PS5. I ordered it at least, and they haven't canceled it yet. I ordered it two days ago. So the other day, I saw that Best Buy was gonna have a drop at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So I woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was on there. I say I didn't care, and I was gonna wait now, but I was like, I'm gonna still try, you know. And if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna be mad, because I'll be waiting for the PS5 Pro or the black version to come out, which I'll talk about that later too. So I got up at like 9 o'clock, and I was like, okay, let's see if they have anything. And from 9 o'clock till about 1 o'clock, bro, there was nothing. You couldn't buy one. Like, it never said, or never gave me the option to buy a PS5 on Best Buy. I was just like, well, y'all just fucking wasting my time. Apparently they were available according to some other people, but I never saw it. So Best Buy, get your shit together. Like, I wouldn't have never thought the experience of buying a PS5 off of Best Buy will be worse than buying it from Walmart. So Walmart apparently had drops later that day. I learned that just by scrolling through Twitter. People were like, oh, Walmart's having drops too. They're trying to sneak in, which I thought was kind of funny. Like, they're trying to sneak their stuff in, so more people are focused on Best Buy and not Walmart. But the thing is, Walmart is way more transparent of when they have PS5s, which is surprising to me. Like, why is Walmart the ones in this whole situation that are acting like adults, and like they have their shit together pretty much, kinda? This last drop that they've had, the ones that they've been dropping more recently, like the one that I got and the one the day after, they have been really good. Like, it was still hard to get one. Like, I almost didn't get one. I got really lucky, I think. So the way I got it was, I'm gonna explain it in case some people have a hard time getting it themselves. So now Walmart is doing them in 10-minute increments, and they're adding captchas, whatever that is. They're adding those to deter bots, and I really don't think those work, because I think the bots can get through those too. But I do feel like it's working. I feel like they said, I saw an article, they said they blocked almost like 20 million bots from buying PS5s. That's scary in itself, and just think of all the bots they didn't get. So I feel like they put a delay on their consoles, because once you click on it at the time they said that they're open, it still says coming at that time. So I feel like they put a delay on it, and I feel like, I hope I'm not like messing anything up by saying this. I feel like they put a delay on it, and then if you keep refreshing and then you go through the captchas, and you can buy it then. But I never had any. I saw some people struggling to get through the captchas. I never had one. And I just I clicked on the digital version. I don't know why. I was trying to get the disc version, honestly. I clicked on the digital version. I went straight through. Like, there's no wait, there's no load time or anything. I went straight through, and I got it. So that was a good day for me. So it'll be here next month. So I'm very excited for that. And I got I don't have it right here. I got the glizzy for anybody with the black Air Forces coming to rob me. So yeah, I'm excited about my PS5, and I'm ready to get it. All right, next up, so we got the free games for December, which my PS4 is collecting dust right now, because I haven't been really playing it that much. I've been playing more PC games. So the free games for PSN are Just Cause 4, which I hear is a good game, Rocket Arena, which I actually kind of enjoy this game, but it's dead. Like, maybe putting it on a console for free will reignite that game, but that game is dead on PC, man. There's nobody to play with. But shout out to Rocket Arena for coming through my stream and gifting 5 subs. Like, that was pretty cool for playing it. Don't get us confused with Rocket League, but Rocket Arena is a 3v3 it's like a 3v3 game. You just 3v3 each other, and you have different objectives for each game mode and whatnot. So it's a decent game, but it just needs something else to like make more people play it. Worms Rumble, I don't know what that game is, and Bugsnax, the PS5 version, which I still don't know if people are actually excited for Bugsnax or if they're just trolling, but hey, there's some kind of excitement for it, I guess. All right, the Xbox games for December are The Raven Remastered, Bleed 2, Saints Row Gat Out of Hell, which is out of these games the only one that actually seems kind of interesting because I never played Gat Out of Hell, and I do love the Saints Row franchise. Honestly, I'd rather them remake the original, like 2. They did 3. I'd rather them remake Saints Row 2 than to make a whole new Saints Row, because the last few they've made are just meh. And stacking is available the 16th through the 31st, so it's available now. All these games are available now except for Saints Row. Actually, wow, they already took Saints Row off for getting it for free. Damn. Anyway, all right, that's the free games for Xbox. Apparently Epic has some free games that people are interested in, but I didn't put them on the notes, so go look at your Epic's launcher and Steam to see what games they have for free. All right, so last in the gaming news, we have Twitch in the news. And if you have been keeping up with anything online, you know what I'm about to talk about. So recently, I think it was, what day was that? That was probably 2 days ago, so maybe the 16th. Twitch announced that they'd be banning the words simp, incel, and virgin from Twitch chats and using it negatively against other people. So I'm gonna read you the tweet right here that they used to clear up what people were talking about. So people just thought that you can't use these words at all now, and these were the words that they're banning in everybody's chats and from Twitch in general. So this tweet right here, I'll go so you can see it on video version. Check me out on YouTube to watch the video version. I'm a barbecue. So this is the tweet right here. It says, we wanted to clear up any misunderstandings about language that can be used on Twitch. At the core of it, we're focusing on doing what we can to protect our community from harassment. So they're talking about the words that they are banning. I think the people had the most issue with simp because it's really just a funny word, and I don't see that one. I'll talk about my personal opinions on it later after I read this tweet. It says, we do not have a blanket ban on use of words like simp and casual banter. But we will take action when words like this, amongst others, are used to harass and harm community members. Check out the hateful conduct and harassment policy. So I also think that this goes into effect on January 22nd. I don't know why that date's stuck in my head, but I think that's the date when this will all be enforced. So my personal opinions on it is incel. I understand incel. Of the 3 words that they banned, I understand. Like, if you're calling somebody an incel, that's kind of fucked up, especially if they're not one. When it comes to virgin, like, all these can be used in a hateful manner. I'm just saying that there are other hurtful words on here, and that doesn't make me like shallow for not seeing the effect of these words. I just think that why these? I'm not saying that people haven't been harassed by these words. I'm just saying that, can I see some examples? Like, they had a round table discussion about these words, and I was just like, is this really the big thing that y'all should be working on right now? Like, that's personally just me. Have y'all seen a Twitch chat on Black History Month? Bro, like, there's so many other words that should be enforced more heavily than these words right here. But that's just me. I personally, I don't care what you think. Like, when it comes to my opinions on whether this is a big issue or not, it is on the podcast. So I mean, it's an issue to a lot of people. But for me, I mean, I don't use these words negatively anyway. So I mean, this doesn't affect me. But hey, everybody else has an opinion on it. Why can't I? So there is that. And it's good to know that they're not just going to be banning people for just saying the words in general. Oops. So that's good, at least. Sorry, I had to fix my screen. Sorry. So yeah, that's that story. Twitch is doing whatever they want to do. So you can be with it or against it. So that's that. That's pretty much all the gaming news that I have. So next up, we're gonna hop into media. So since I've been gone, obviously, for almost 3 weeks now since making Hold That Thought, I've been watching and listening to just mainly watching a lot of stuff. I haven't been listening to too much new music. So Kid Cudi released Man on the Moon 3, which, if you want my full review, you can check that out on my YouTube channel. That's the last video I uploaded before this one. So Go check that out. I feel like I went pretty in depth. I tried to give my honest opinion on the album, and yeah, I think it's a good video. Go check it out. I spent a lot of time on that when editing, so yeah, go check it out. I appreciate it. Eminem, actually yesterday, Eminem released a deluxe edition of Music to Be Murdered By, which is his latest album that came out earlier this year, which I feel like a lot of people forgot about, and I kind of did too. I was actually just thinking about that earlier. I completely forgot he released this album. It's not that it's not good, it's just another Eminem album. I'll probably actually go back and listen to these. Apparently there's 16 new tracks on it. Like, it's actually a full deluxe edition. I don't know how many songs it's gonna be now, but I'm gonna go listen to it. I mean, because no matter all the hate that Eminem gets nowadays, like, I still find myself very interested in what he has to say on a lot of tracks. I still enjoy his fast rapping flow, even though a lot of a lot of younger people do not appreciate his lyrical ability. I still personally do. When I was growing up, Eminem was like my favorite rapper. Like, it's weird because like he stopped becoming my favorite rapper when he started like going like super pop. Like when he went like super pop and he was making songs for like Call of Duty and shit like that, I was just like, okay. When he was like on his OG like just dissing people shit, like that's when I was really fucking with Eminem. But yeah, so those two things are out. I really enjoyed Man on the Moon 3. Go give it a listen. I never answered this in my review, but where it stacks up between in the Man on the Moon trilogy for me, I said in the review that Man on the Moon 2 was my favorite, but going back and listening to all three, I feel like I can't rate them between each other, because I feel like in each one you have to be in kind of a separate mood. One, I feel like I didn't give enough props because there are bangers on that album. There are classics. Two, I feel like I have personal classics, and I feel like that's why 2 is a real cult classic album. And 3, I feel like everything did come together. You get a good mixture of 1, 2, and now 3 puts them all together. So yeah, I really do enjoy the album. I feel like it fits pretty well. All three of these albums, believe it or not, have a very different sound. So yeah, that is me talking about Man on the Moon again. So also I finished listening to the Dissect podcast. I think this is season 7. I think this is season 7 of the Dissect podcast. They went on and broke down Childish Gambino's Because of the Internet. And man, great job to the people at Dissect. This is partially a shout out because I love that podcast. I love it, and I'm going to go back and listen to some seasons that I don't even care about the album, because they do such a good job of analyzing the songs and the lyrics that I just like. I could listen to that for hours. And Colt Kushner, you are great. Like, everybody over there is great. So yeah, that's my appreciation for them. I finished this first season, the only season so far of Lovecraft Country. I hate everybody for not making me watch this show earlier. It has, after one watching, become my favorite show. Like, that show is so good. Like, the acting was perfect. Like, I couldn't, usually when I watch a show or a movie, I can pick out a person that I can be like, damn, their acting is really weak, or something like that. But in this show, everybody brought S-tier acting to this whole show. And a lot of people didn't like, I'm not going to spoil it, but a lot of people didn't like the ending, but I personally enjoyed it. It kept it, I'm not going to say anymore. But the ending was really good. And that's whoever wrote that and directed it. Y'all are masterminds. Like, that was so good. Like, I cannot stop talking enough about that show. It's really good. If you don't have an HBO Max subscription, I think that in itself, just doing the trial or whatever you can do, is worth the price of admission. Like, God, that show is so good. But let me stop fanboying over that. I've also been watching A Teacher, that is on Hulu. I think it also comes on TV on FX, I think. So that show is very interesting. If you don't have a problem with the premise, I am kind of judging you. It's about a teacher, roll credits. It's about a teacher that has an encounter sexually with a student. So I've been watching the show, and I thought it was over, but apparently it's still going on. And I have some issues with it sometimes. So sometimes they pick like hip hop music that really doesn't fit the show at all. That is my biggest pet peeve of that show. Like, it'll just go into some hardcore hip hop song and it doesn't match the vibe of the show at all. So whoever is making the soundtrack for this TV show, you need to lose your job, bro. Like, that, it is so bad. It takes you out of the whole scene. Anyway, it's very interesting, the whole premise of the show. Like, I think some people will be drawn in just by that, but the casting was really weird too. I thought they could have did a little bit better on the casting. Other than that, I think it's a good show. The cast they do have can act decently enough, so I don't have, other than the things I've already named, I don't have too many negatives about the show. It's interesting. It's something to watch to pass the time. So after that, I've almost finished. I have one more episode of Big Mouth season 4. Bro, this show is so disgusting, but I love it and I can't stop watching it. And I have one more episode left, and I think this is the episode where the character Missy, their voice actors change. So it's gonna be weird, like watching that episode and like knowing that. I wish I wouldn't look that up and just hope that they sound the same, but I don't know yet. So the writing is still great, but it's disgusting. Like, whoever sits down and thinks about this shit, you need to go to like some kind of mental institution, bro. That's not okay that you're writing this, bro. Like, it's really not. Like, Nick Kroll, I don't know who's the main writer of this, but y'all have some very deep issues that y'all need to work out. Last two things, I've been watching Dragon Ball Z Super still, and it's still ass. I have nothing good to say about it. The fight scenes are getting better because I'm at the Universe tournament right now, and it's still ass of a show. Like, the writing is so bad. I finished Fire Force season 1 as well for anime, and it's a good show, man. I honestly, at this point, I can say I'd probably rather watch Fire Force than My Hero Academia. You want to cancel me for that? Then go ahead. All right, so we're moving on to the next segment, which is life. So all that's going on in my life is that the holidays are coming up, man. I got my Christmas shopping done. It's been very expensive, but I enjoy getting gifts for other people and making their day better. So if you haven't already, man, these stores are already packed, so you might want to get on that. And if you're trying to just order stuff on Amazon, make sure you do it now, because their order log is so backed up that it's ridiculous. It's pretty bad. Excuse me. Sorry. Because I'll look at things that I could have ordered like a week ago, and now it says it'll be here in like February. So make sure if you got things to order, do it now, because they're very backed up with COVID and the holidays coming up. I couldn't imagine working at Amazon right now. It reminds me of that scene from SpongeBob when he's like in his brain and he's just like, the chaos is going on. That's what I think Amazon looks like right now. So I cracked my phone screen. Where's my phone? You can't really see it. I barely noticed it either. And after I record this and upload it, I'm going to call AT&T and see if I can like get my screen replaced. So that's great. I cracked it, I think, yesterday. I'm not sure when it happened, but my screen is cracked. And travel, I'm going to be traveling a bit. Am I? Yeah, I think I'm still going to be traveling a bit for the holidays. So when that comes to that, when it comes to any kind of travel, man, just be safe, bro. Like, you'll get there. Don't rush the trip. If you're in inclement weather, which I know it's not too many places, but it is snowing in a lot of places, learn how to drive in the snow. Just be safe, man. Car accidents are very fatal, so just be safe when you're traveling. That is it for the life segment. And lastly, we're going to jump into the topic of the day, which is 2020. Give me 1 second. I've been talking a lot really fast, so I had to get some water. All right, so for this, which is potentially the last episode of Hold That Thought for this year, I've thought it'd be best to just talk about 2020 and all the shit that I can remember without doing too much research that happened this year. This year is going in the history books, whether we like it or not. We survived we haven't yet. There's still a few days left. History was made this year, and like, it has been really stressful to be a part of the 2020 and in general. But I'll also like to bring up that like 2016 wasn't great either. I think that we forget like how bad 2020 was, because it does pale in comparison to how bad 2020 has been. 2016 was like, I think the second worst year. 17 was bad too, but 2016 was also a very bad year. Because Trump got elected. That was like one of the worst things. Anyway, so if you guys remember back in like January, we were all worried about like World War III happening. Like that was like the biggest thing of the year in January. Like we're about to go to World War III with, I think, like, was it Korea? One of the Korea, like North Korea, I think. And that like got swept under the rug. I guess I don't know why, because I guess we got bigger issues to worry about. So that was about to happen. Murder hornets were a big thing. I don't know if you guys remember the murder hornets everybody was talking about, but those literally came and went. Like I never even saw one, but I guess it was just like for a specific part of the world. I don't even know if they came here. Anyway, so in February, those are all earlier stories in the year. So we're gonna move into the worst parts of the year. Really, we lost Kobe Bryant in February, and dude, that hit so hard, man. Like we did at that point, we didn't know how much worse this year was gonna get, but like I remember exactly, like I will always remember exactly where I was, because I was at work when I found out that Kobe Bryant died. Like one of my coworkers texted me, he's like, "Dude, Kobe died." I was like, "What?" I literally didn't believe it. Like it took a few days really for me to comprehend like that Kobe Bryant died, bro. Like it was so crazy, and I was just like, I didn't want to accept it. Like I was just like, helicopter crash. I mean, really? That's the way it happens, man. But it made sense, like when you hear that he used to travel by a helicopter a lot, and it's just like it's very, very sad. And he lost his daughter as well. But yeah, that was very sad. And we lost a lot of celebrities this year, man. A lot. We lost Chadwick Boseman, Alex Trebek, Sean Connery, and several others. So like for that, even in Hollywood or in the sports industry, we lost a lot of legends, man. We really did. This year was a very bad year for just obviously if you've lost loved ones with COVID, like I know that things are differently for you as well. Like I said in the last podcast, I lost 2 family members as well, but not from COVID, just other issues. So yeah, if you, my prayers are with you, my condolences as well. Like this has been a really rough year. Not to bring the whole vibe of the show down, but like talking about COVID is just very tough sometimes, you know, because a lot of things have happened. It fucked up my whole year. If I just want to go back to being selfish and personal, bro, oh my god, I almost forgot about all the stuff that I could be just getting back from Disney. Like recently, I could have like been at Disney like 2 weeks ago if COVID wasn't a thing, because we had plans on going. We had plans on going to Disney. We had plans on going to Universal for my anniversary, and we had plans of going. Fucking Dreamville Fest with J. Cole was scheduled for my birthday, bro. I was so mad, bro. And I spent my birthday at home with my wife, which was nice, and we got to do things together, and that was nice. But I would have been spending my birthday. We already had the Airbnb booked out. We had everything, bro. We already had paid all the money. Like, oh my god, we were so close to actually going. And they canceled the whole thing, and it got delayed. One thing with that, though, they never released the list of performers who are going to be there, so that was kind of sucky. But it wasn't kind of sucky, because I don't know fully on what I was missing out on. What if J. Cole never showed up? I'd have been really mad. But yeah, so my whole year fucked up. If your life didn't get affected at all by COVID, I would like to talk to you, because you must live in the forest or in the mountains, unbothered by everybody. If this didn't affect you in some way, it affected me at work, it affected me at home, it affected me socially, in every way you can think, like every way, like even with growth and getting out there. Like I could have went to TwitchCon this year, I could have went to E3, all these things. I think E3 got canceled anyway, but I could have went through all these things this year and really tried to grow my brand even more. And with COVID, I couldn't do any of that. So also, you can't talk about 2020 without talking about the huge impact of the Black Lives Matter movement and the tragic death of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, which we were just looking at the Breonna Taylor situation recently. it's been a really tough year for that, with all the protests, riots, looting, all that stuff. But I think we've brought attention to the issue. Like this year, we've made some progress. I don't like when people say that nothing was done or accomplished by the protests and everything that happened. Like, I do think that we made progress and a lot of things did change this year. But are we done? Hell no. Like, we have a lot left to do until things are really right in the world. But I feel like 2020 was a first step. Unfortunately, we had to lose these people for the message to actually be brought to light. But I feel like ground has been made. Like, we've set the foundation, just now we have to keep building on it. So that's something that we have to do, and hopefully things will be better in the next coming year. But as for now, we just gotta keep working, man. That's it. Also, next up in the year is the election. It's every 4 years we do an election, and we had Trump against Biden. Somehow Biden won the Democratic nomination, and we got Trump out of here, man. The debates were terrible. I watched like 2 out of the 3 total debates when it comes to vice president and president, and Trump is, I think, at this time, Trump has still not conceded that he lost to Biden. But I won't talk about politics that much. I can't believe I even talked about COVID without not saying COVID, because this probably will get suppressed in the YouTube algorithm. So whatever, it's whatever. This is the last episode of the year. I don't give a fuck. So yeah, that happened. Biden will be sworn in January. I think early January? I think so. Yeah, the inauguration will happen then. Let's see if Trump will concede by then. But the election was a big thing, man. Trump was on one, man. He was just tweeting all kinds of shit this year, man. I think I'll look back on this episode personally just to see where I was mentally during this year, man. This year was mentally exhausting, bro. Like, oh man, I think this though did bring a lot of people together with socially distancing. Like, it brought a lot of people together. Like the election, the protests, COVID, the big 3 of this year. Like, those are the biggest things, and like it sort of unwillingly brought people together. Like, I don't know if COVID did that much, but because COVID brought up a lot of issues with a lot of things that would need it to be addressed. So maybe if this happens next time, we'd be more prepared for it. But other than that, like, Trump unknowingly brought people together, whether it's his supporters or non-Trump supporters. I wish it would have brought everybody just together, like, to just acknowledge that the president is a shitty title. The protests brought people together, and hopefully a lot of people know that Black Lives do matter, but a lot of people still don't want to accept it. Because they see certain things and they'll just be like, oh, the organization itself is bad, and then they'll be like, the movement itself isn't bad. So yeah, this year was very divisive though. It brought people together, but it was very divisive. It was great to see all the youth out there protesting and letting our voices be known on the streets, but then also just like all the people who were against it, all the people who were just trashing the protest, saying that it's only looting, saying that it's only rioting, and all these protests are bad, and blah blah blah. Like, like, come on now. Anyway, for me personally, to go back to being selfish, because it's my podcast and I talk about what I want. I've been very impressed with myself, man. Like, I felt like in the first year of me streaming, I wasn't consistent. Like, I still am not like totally consistent with streaming, because there's no possible way I can. Like, my work schedule is so bad. Like, I have to have time set aside for my work, my wife, my family. I have to have time set aside for that. So with a schedule at my job that is so flippant and doesn't stay consistent, it's impossible for me to have a consistent stream schedule. But when it comes to YouTube, I feel like, man, ever since I put my mind to it and started actually being consistent, like, I've been putting up 2-3 videos like every week. Like, it's been very amazing, and I didn't know I had that in me, because that was always my crutch when I was thinking about content creation, is just like how can I be more consistent on YouTube? Will I be more consistent on YouTube? What other ways can I expand? And I've expanded my brand so many ways, like things right here. Like I'm on almost every social media that I care to be on. And I'm just slowly growing day by day, like on each platform. And I really appreciate you guys though for being there for me and telling me I can do it and giving me advice, all these other things, man. I feel like I'm just really building the foundation of I'm the barbecue and everything that I do, man. Like I'm just very happy with what I've accomplished this year, and I know that like the sky's the limit. Like I have so many places I can take all this stuff, and I really want you guys to be there with me for when it happens. So that is it for this episode of the Hold That Thought podcast. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you guys so much. If you're watching the video version, make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how 2020 was for you guys, because I want to know, like, how affected were you this year? I know a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people can't, like, people are trying to avoid getting evicted, being out on the streets. And I meant to talk about the stimulus checks too. They're talking about it being like $600 for this next stimulus check. Bro, it's been like what, 6 months since the last stimulus check, and y'all gonna give $600? Bro, there's people out on the street and trying, like, avoiding getting evicted, like, who have kids and need to feed their kids. Like, dude, the $600 ain't gonna cut it, man. But then again, what I saw some of y'all spending y'all last stimulus checks on, I can kind of understand it, bro. Like, y'all gotta be more responsible with your money, and maybe that's what I'll talk about on the next episode. But anyway, if you made it to the end, you are the best. Make sure you do all the things I always say. Rate this 5 stars if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. I appreciate you guys so much. Join the Discord if you want as well. Got a ton of gamers on there, or people that you can just talk to on there. But yeah, that's it. I enjoyed making this episode. I feel like I covered a lot of things. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time on episode 13, potentially next year. I don't know, but we'll see you then. Goodbye.
Yes, sir. Did you like that video? Me too, because I made it. I know it's good. If you did like that video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new here, subscribe. Make sure you have that bell turned on for notifications for when I make a new video. Also, you can catch me on any of the socials down below. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all those. I'm on there. That's it. See you guys later.